right, folks, you ready for Ken Nelson? Let's get it going. You ready? Here's what's going to happen. Ken's going to come up, and after that, I'm going to come back and do a couple of songs that I'm not allowed to perform anywhere but here at Behind Bars. So the show will keep going, but it's going great, and you guys are doing a great job. So right now, coming up to the stage is a guy that you may have seen standing in the doorway. Give it up for Ken Nelson, folks. Let me hear it. Ken Nelson.
Actually, it's Murray. How you doing? How are you doing today? That's good, I'm glad. So actually, I'm a pharmacist. A lot of pharmacists named Murray. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Nerdy, boring, Indian. But actually, being a pharmacist is a lot like being a rock star. We have groupies. You call them junkies. We get laid all the time. We get access to roofies and Viagra. The worst is when a hot babe comes in with a prescription for vaginal ointment. You've done that before, huh? Talk about disappointment. With them, you gotta take the roofies. Speaking of cheesy, I love the 70s. The music, the TV shows, the drugs. Yeah, Fonzie. Hey, everybody, come on. You had Charlie's Angels. And then we had the Pina Colada song. Come on, everybody. If you like pina colada, getting caught in the rain. Yeah, I actually had a shirt. You'll remember this. It's my brother over there. That had a picture of J.J. Jimmy Walker on it. And it said, Dynamite! I think I got a picture. My sister actually has a picture of that. Should have burned the damn thing. You had no healthcare crisis back then. What the hell was a healthcare crisis? The doctor even made house calls. My doctor would come to my house all the time. Then he'd stay for a while. He'd give my mother some money, and she'd ask him to leave. He didn't even examine me. I don't know what the hell was going on there. But now you gotta try going to the doctor. You take forever to get an appointment. You finally get an appointment. You sit in the waiting room for hours. Then they call you into the exam room where you sit for hours. The doctor finally comes in, sticks his finger up your ass, asks you for money, and tells you to leave. You get fucked twice. Immediately on the way out the door, I made another appointment for next week. You don't know how hard I looked for a doctor with big, long, fat fingers. Speaking of doctors, what's with all these Indians here in New York anyway? Sometimes I feel like I'm living in Bollywood. You feel that way too? Yeah. Even my GPS has an Indian voice on it. Okay. In 1/2 mile. No, I screwed up there, sorry. Okay. In 1/2 kilometer, make a right hand turn. And in 500 meters, your destination will be on the right. I said make a right-hand turn, you dumb fucking American bastard. Recalculating. Not only do I have to listen to that annoying voice, but I gotta learn that metric system all over again. Tell you what, you guys learn how to drive on the right-hand side of the road? I'll learn what the hell a freaking kilometer is. But still, I love my GPS. I'd be lost without it. Speaking of getting lost, I was recently in New Jersey. And I got to stop at my favorite convenience store, the Wawa. Who the hell named that place anyway? Helen Keller? Wawa. 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 Helen, what should we name this place? Wawa. That's brilliant. Just think, somewhere in India, in New Delhi, a young man is saying, one day I want to move to America and open up my very own Wawa in Mawa. I wonder if somewhere in Mawa, some young man is saying, yo, one day I want to move to India and open up my own deli in New Delhi. I was in Dunkin' Donuts one time, and there was a deaf Indian guy working behind the counter. And it's funny because the guy was deaf, but he couldn't hear anything, but he still had an Indian accent. And the guy could read lips, but he couldn't read American lips. So he had his Indian co-worker translate all the orders for him. So I went up there and said, I'll have a regular coffee and a jelly donut. And the Indian guy would say, we'll take a regular coffee and a jelly donut. Then he would walk away, you dumb, deaf Indian son of a bitch. They had no respect for one another. But they were full of peace and love in India. But speaking of deaf, dumb, and blind, I'm the father of 3 wonderful children. But you believe that while on vacation with my family, somebody actually called the cops on me for slapping my daughter. I was at a truck stop in Oklahoma. What the hell is going on here? In Oklahoma, you can marry your sister, but you can't slap your daughter? Next family vacation's to Mexico. So I can beat the shit out of my kids. I'll just say the piñatas. The funny thing is, when I was a kid, all my father had to do was reach for that belt, and I'd go running. I reach for my belt. My 3 kids start laughing hysterically. And my wife says, not now, honey, I have a headache. I get no respect. Especially for my youngest child. He's 13 and he gets away with murder. Just last Friday, he and I were sitting down in the basement watching pornos. Like we do every Friday. Do you believe the little shit rips out a joint and lights it right in front of me? As if I wasn't even there? I I don't know where he gets this selfishness from. Shit, I feed him. After I'm finished, if there's anything left over. I even take him places. Just last winter, I took him to see Ozzy Osbourne in concert. Boy, was that an experience. Sitting right next to us was this little drunken dwarf. And he kept on fist bumping my son over and over again. The little leprechaun even shook my hand. My hand engulfing those little sausage fingers. Next thing you know, he's up on my shoulders watching the concert. It was all kind of freaky. Speaking of my wife, that's right, I'm married. I've had 8 truly wonderful years. Thank you. I've been married 22. I love my wife, but she scares the shit out of me. She's always yelling at me. And I don't know why. Unfortunately, she loves to remind me. Over and 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 over. Did I say enough overs? Over again. I'm always apologizing. For what? Just to make it stop, please. Stop yelling at me, please. I don't want to get yelled at anymore. Leave Marie alone. You know, women are never wrong. Just ask them. A happy wife is a happy life. A happy husband is a widower. Several years back, my wife and I were having some marital problems, so she suggested that we see a priest. Go ahead and figure that out. I don't know about you, but I don't know, a priest performing marriage counseling? It's kind of like hiring Casey Anthony as your babysitter. Or maybe having Michael Vick replace Cesar Millan as the dog whisperer. Or having Ted Kennedy teaching underwater rescue techniques.